Okay, today we are going to be demonstrating how to hand sew a face mask. We got kits that will give you the directions, and you want to make sure that you have all of the parts. Before you start, what I suggest you do is to cross out any directions that don't apply to you. So there are directions for machine sewing and if you have a serger. So we are doing this by hand. So I crossed out any sewing machine or serger directions. Then the step 1 where it says detailed instruction, and it's right here, it says to check for missing parts. So you want to make sure you got everything in your kit. You should have directions, okay? You should have your needle, which was taped to the front of the directions. You should have your spool of thread, 2 pieces of fabric, and then it almost looks like a shoelace or a string that should go along with it. If you are missing anything, it says to write to the department, but you can just let your teacher know and email them, and they can figure out something for you. The other thing that you're going to want is maybe some extra supplies. You're definitely going to need a pair of scissors so you can cut your thread. You will need a pin cushion with pins, or at least pins, so you can pin your fabric together to hold it in place. If you don't have pins, maybe you can find some safety pins. You could use bobby pins if you're really stuck, or clips that you use on your chip bags, or anything that's going to hold it together. Tape, paper clips, okay? The other thing you'll need is something to write with. They recommend Taylor's chalk. If you don't have Taylor's chalk, you can just use a pencil or a pen. And you'll need something to measure with. So if you have a ruler or even a sewing gauge, that's good. And then you should be good. Now, so that is to make sure you have all the directions, is step 1. Step 2, which is here, is to pin the 2 squares of material with the right sides together. Right sides together means the outside of the fabric, so where the pattern is. So this one has a pattern. If you look at the other side, it's very blurred. You can't even see the yellow. The solid color, it doesn't matter. They're exactly the same on the front and back, but they want you to pin the right sides together. So you're going to do it basically inside out. So I'm going to take this and go over. Okay? And then you're going to pin. Okay, so you're going to pin all the way around, and you want to make sure that you're not pinning like crazy, not right next to each other. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down halfway and bring it up so that it lays flat. You never want to pin just going like this, because if you were to grab it, you could hurt yourself. So again, you always want to remember, you go down, bring it back up halfway. I like to use my pointer finger to push it back up and move it. And again, it might take you some time. I obviously have sewn for quite a few years, so I can do this a little bit quicker. And again, you want to make sure that the fabric matches up as best as possible. My fabric is a little uneven. I'm not going to worry about it or cut it because it'll be on the inside. Okay. Then, once you pin your 3 sides, it tells you to leave a 3-inch opening. So what you can do is you could measure, you can eyeball it, okay? So I'm going to just leave it right in the middle, kind of. So I have a ruler, so I'm just going to do this. And the way they show you is they put 2 pins right next to each other to remind you that that is not to be sewn between this spot and the next spot. Okay, so I didn't measure 100%, which is fine. So it's definitely less than 3. We can, if you want to, you can move it, give it more space. There you go. Okay, so those are the first 3 steps of the project. Make sure you have everything. Put your fabric right sides together, and then to pin all the way around, and leaving a 3-inch opening on the side. Okay, we'll do another video for the next couple of steps.